Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue Chris Cast. This is the Chris Cast where we, and by me, by we I mean me, Chris, and my co-host / co-founder Chris. We dive into the streaming service. We tell you, the listener and the viewer, which Christmas movies are worth it and which Christmas movies are not.
And which Chris is worth it.
I mean, you'll find that out by the end.
That's right. You can make your decision. This episode, I've got Mischief Brem.
Yeah, very good.
All right, because we're doing like small batch stuff these days. We're going to be one of those channels that, pours a nice pint of Guinness, and it's nice and frothy, and it's like, oh, this is great. And we're going to grow really long beards.
Yeah. And like sprig beard oils and stuff.
Bro, that's like an alternative to the Musashi hoodie situation.
Well, I mean, there's certain levels of the population, right?
Yeah.
There's your Musashi with the hoodies. There's your bearded folk with the beard oils, right?
With the beard oils and the artisan pints,
artisanal pints, and then there's your e-girls and e-boys with like they're wearing like Pikachu hats.
They're wearing Pikachu hats. They just got lights out the wazoo. They just got RGBs.
They got RGBs and they've put freckles on their face. Like they've actively put freckles on their face.
They've got, instead of live, laugh, love, they've got live, laugh, RGB.
I mean, that's RGB. That's Roy G. Biv. Is that what you're talking about?
RGB is like red, green, blue. It's the LEDs. They either go red, green, or blue, and then you can make them all a bunch of these and a bunch of those, and then you just like anime things.
I mean, that's anime things, and it's not a world that I want to be involved in.
Nah.
If I have to stick my tongue out to get views, like we've failed in what we're trying to achieve here, because we're trying to create our own niche.
That's right. So then people will say like, yeah, we've got the one dude that looks like Caesar from the Planet of the Apes, and the one balding dude, and they make jokes that not anyone understands, but they make each other laugh, and that's comedic to other people. That's
right. And I might be bald by next week, so that might be the ticket.
That might be the ticket.
I think that's the ticket. So, Chris, we are doing 2003's very own Love Actually. I mean, if you're talking about Christmas movies, people are like, every single year I have to watch Love Actually. This is people's favorite. It's not a cult classic. It's just a classic for people. But we're going to figure out if it is today.
Yeah, I think I've watched it for the past few Christmas because my partner, used to like it. And I think and we're going to talk about this, because as the years go by, this is a more and more difficult movie to watch and to digest. But we're going to digest it for you so you don't have to.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you the facts and then we're going to just get into it,
So talking about digesting, this ginger ale is much better warm, I think.
It's very good warm,
It's really good warm. So if you want to hear like our complete thoughts on the ginger ale, the Mischief Brem, we've got videos on YouTube.
Yeah, and that's small batch in South Australia, so I don't know if it's going to get to you out all the way out in Florida, our good man out there.
But you pay enough, it'll get there.
I mean, you pay, dude, money makes the world go round.
That's right.
So here's and speaking of money, we'll get into that. So it's got the 7.6 out of 10 on the IMDb. It's got the 64% on the Rotten Tomatoes. 8 London couples try to deal with their relationships in different ways. Their trust, spelt with a Y, with love makes them discover how tryst? Is that a word? Tryst? Tryst? With love makes them discover how complicated relationships can be. I mean, this had a budget of $45 million US, and it made some money. Like, he's not telling me how much it made, but it made $246.8 million.
I looked up Tryst, and the first link was find independent escorts.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at
that's all movie, I Googled.
You're looking at a movie that's got independent escorts. It's this movie.
An appointment to meet at a certain time and place, especially one made somewhat secretly by lovers.
Okay, so their tryst with love is a word.
They're tryst.
They're tryst.
But like, say for the folks, they're every man.
Well, I mean, this is what I'm going to be doing. The next 4 weeks of this podcast, I'm going to be saying tryst. I'm going to throw a tryst in there,
I mean, tryst.
Like, this might have to be the Back Catalogue Tryst cast. Like, that's what it's going to change to.
Like you, Chris, will say, like, we're going to do this, and I'll just say tryst.
Yeah. Chris, let's get into this. What I want to talk about here, Chris, is we're literally just going to go through all the couples' individual stories and just talk about them.
Talk about, should we rate them?
I mean, we might
From
rate
like
them.
Dirtbag to Dirtbag?
Yeah. Like Dirtbag to Infidelity. Like, we'll rate
Dirtbag to
them
Infidelity, that's right.
I think, we're just going to go through each individual one, just say what we thought of their story, and then we're just going to tell you if this is worth it or not. Okay, so who do you want to start with? Because like we got heads. Like if we just sit here, we got Keira Knightley.
We got Rick Grimes. We got Rick Grimes' very own.
We got Chiwetel Ejiofor involved in there as well. He's telling Carol
that's
to bog off
a name, bro. That's a name.
I mean, you know what's we'll get into this a bit later, but what's crazy about this movie is like these heads are bigger now than they were then.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of like good heads, you know, from the
They've
British,
got a lot of heads. I mean, they
scene.
got Colin Firth and Hugh Grant. My mum sees that in a movie. Like, that's it. That's a 10 out of 10 for her.
Dude, look, and let me tell you, every time I saw Hugh Grant come on the screen, I'm like, bro, Hugh Laurie's crazy. Like, he's
Hugh
good
Laurie.
in this movie. You know,
Well,
I was thinking it was Dr. House,
He
MD.
ain't even got a limp in this one.
He hasn't got a limp in this one. So we've got Hugh Laurie's. We got Mr. Darcy, Colin Firth's very own.
Colin Firth. We got Keira Knightley. We got Rick Grimes.
We got Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln.
Andrew Lincoln.
We got Sliver of Snape. He's in there.
We got Sliver of Snape.
Yeah, what's his name?
Sliver of Snape.
Sliver of Snape.
We got Mark,
We got Mark.
that foreign guy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, dude,
I don't know who Mark is.
nah, the guy that's like wants to date that girl with the brother who's not well.
Oh, yeah.
His man's name's Mark. I think his name's Mark.
That's like the Spanish guy that works
Spanish guy.
at Slytherus's office.
At Slytherus's office.
And we
yeah.
just got heads.
And that dude is silky smooth.
Dude, I mean, if you saw that man with his shirt off, you'd be thinking like, how's he going to be with Truman's wife? How's he going to be with Truman's wife?
That's right. That's Truman's wife.
Yeah, but because Truman's wife have a good personality, that's why. Because it's not about looks, you know.
That's exactly right.
And then we got heads.
We got heads. There are other heads.
There's other heads, but we'll get into the heads as we go through.
There's the dude that was in Game of Thrones. Like, man, looks about the same age as he does in this movie. And Liam Neeson's.
Which dude was in Game of Thrones? That's not Joffrey.
No, not Joffrey. He's another head in Game of Thrones.
Like the kid that looks like he's like 40.
Yeah.
Like he's 40.
Maybe he's not in Game of Thrones. Maybe he's in like the Hunger Games or something. He's in one of them shows.
He's in one of them
like
shows.
He's done other things, is what I'm saying. And he looks the same.
He's either in Game of Thrones or the Hunger Games.
Well,
so he could be in Star Wars or he could be in Chariots of Fire.
That's
like
exactly
they're
right.
that far apart.
That's exactly
you know?
right. That's exactly right.
I
mean, Mans could have had like that. Could have been one and done for him.
I mean,
That could have been his whole career for all I know.
you do drums, you do like romance. That could be it for you. You know, especially as a child, and you're talking about love.
Yeah.
Like, there's something complicated about that. Let's go from like least problematic to most problematic.
Okay.
So let's start off with like Colin Firth's.
Colin Firth. Which
That's
one's
Mr.
Colin
Darcy. He's doing like I'm writing a book. I'm Stephen King in it, and then my paper's going.
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
water.
yeah. Colin Firth. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Colin Firth, right?
Colin Firth.
We'll call him Mr. Darcy because that's his most famous character.
That's his formal title.
Yeah.
Like, at dinner parties, they call him Mr. Darcy.
So on a scale of like 1 to Dirtbag, like he's very low on the scale. Because like
He's
really,
very
he's
low,
not doing
yeah.
dirtbag things. He's met a person. They've fallen for each other despite a language barrier, and he's going out there learning languages to try to
Yeah, that's the one I think that has the least amount of issues.
And I mean his story starts with adultery.
That's right.
I mean,
because that's not the bro. That is kind of in terms of in isolation when he rocks up back to the house. Like, I need to say, "Oh, come here, you big boy," or something like that.
And she's like, "I want you twice before he comes home." Like, imagine your partner's sick, you go home, they're talking about like twice before I came, you know?
Like twice after I came. Jeez, man.
So,
But that's just like calling him big boy.
oh, dude.
That's hilarious.
That's
And it's his
heartbreak.
brother as well.
Oh, that was his brother.
Yeah, because he says to him like, I think we should take mum out Friday for her birthday. Dude's like, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Christmas
All
dinner.
right, just hold that thought. Goes upstairs.
Christmas dinner is not going to be good at that family
No, it
household.
won't.
So, I mean, this is not a thing that you want to be thinking about. But if you're Colin Firth in that situation, he's made the best option. Because 9 times out of 10, you might see like double homicides coming out of that. But in this case, like Mans has just walked out the door. He's gone for a trip to the Cotswolds or wherever he is.
Yeah, I think they were going to go there anyway. Is he connected to any of the other heads?
He could be. I mean, is this a love story that's not connected in any way?
Well, I don't know, because all the rest of the connected.
They are connected. And this is one of my issues with this movie. Like, they make connections where it's like Hugh Laurie goes to like someone's house and then like the lady's doing infidelities in there, you know?
No, I like that part. I like the part where I think we can talk about this later, but I think narratively the movie is good.
Oh, yeah.
I think in terms of, you got all these different pieces. You can follow them all. They're simple enough. and they're memorable enough at the same time. There's a lot, but there's also not too many because they've done it well. And then at the end, kind of bits and pieces come together, and I think that's enjoyable.
And I think, when you have about, if you're going to have adulterers in a room anywhere, it better be a Christmas show for children, Like if you're going to be having Slytherin, Snape and Nanny McPhee breaking up, it's going to be at the Christmas special.
Nanny McPhee.
So Colin Firth I think I'm going to give him a straight up 1 in regards to Dirtbagness.
Yeah, I don't think
that's a movie in itself. You do a movie like,
language barriers and things.
I mean, you could call it language barriers and things, and we're by a lake.
Actually, that's one thing. I mean, that's just like a trend that is throughout the movie. Is like the men's are always like fully clothed, except for Mark. Like he's the only one that's not fully clothed.
The men are always fully clothed?
Yeah. Like that lady goes into, she drops all the papers into the stream and she goes in like she's just in underwear.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that they're doing here, right? Romantic movies, Christmas movies, typically men aren't, rushing out to the theaters to go see these movies.
That's
so
right.
They know that you're going to get the husband that doesn't want to go out if you tell him, hey, bro, like there's going to be like some full frontal nudity.
Yeah, but see, that's the issue. That's the issue with society, like in general,
But I mean, unfortunately, sex sells in this situation, and that's how you get the dad of 4 into the cinemas. To have a gingerbread
no,
cookie.
I know that sex sells.
Yeah.
I'm here, and I'm like looking at things selling.
And like the reason we haven't sold like any of these T-shirts is because like.
Because they're T-shirts, like they're covering things
they're
up.
Staying on.
They're staying on. But I'm saying like that's something that I find, I don't like it.
No,
I don't like it.
You don't need to because it doesn't like, continue the story in any way. Either.
No, that's right. And it's just a way. But I mean, there are themes in this movie of like objectification of women, very much so throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's bad. We're going to get into like the bad things.
That's right. It's real bad, a lot of it. But
yeah.
This, in terms of the story, this little part with Colin Firth, Dr. Laurie, whatever his name is, Hugh Laurie.
I mean, Hugh Laurie's not in this part.
I don't know who the man's is. You get me all turned around, bro.
You mean Mr. Darcy?
Mr. Darcy.
Sorry,
Jesus.
bro. But yeah, you could give me a movie where it's Colin Firth. He's in a what do you call that? Like a hut, not a hut. What's it called?
Bro, he's just in like a bunker.
He's just in a straw hut and he's doing my straw hut thing.
No, the funniest part of that was the language barrier.
Yeah. And they're saying the same thing, but in different
they're
languages?
saying they're either saying the same thing or they're saying opposite things. Yeah. She's jumping in there. She's been like, "This better be good. Like I better not be getting damn cold as hell, damn near hypothermia for something my grandmother could have wrote."
Yeah.
And this dude's like, "It's not even that good."
And he's like, "There better not be eels in here." She's like, "Watch out for the eels."
I mean, that's comedy.
That's comedy. That's a 1 out of 10 in regards to Dirtbag, and probably like a 6.5 to 7 out of 10 in regards to like good wholesome stories. Now, I mean, to go up, I guess, to the next level, we're going to talk about Liam Neeson's very own.
Yeah, I think that one's probably the next one, which is
because that's heartwarming in a way, but also you're a young kid like that. You don't need to be thinking about love and relationships.
Yeah, that's right. I think.
But he's been through some things, that kid.
That's right.
Like,
exactly.
Obviously,
his mum just died.
A divorced family.
Yeah.
Because Liam Neeson's is a stepdad.
That's right.
And then your mum dies.
And mum just died. So, I mean, that's, trauma will come out in many a way.
Yeah. And like bad things happen in 3 because he ends up in either the Hunger Games or Game of Thrones. So he's dead at some point. Right?
He's dead at some point. But yeah, I mean, I think he was in Maze Runner maybe.
I mean, he's going to die in any place he's running, he's dying,
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it's fine, but it's not great.
Well, you know what I realised when I was watching this? Like, because I've only really seen Liam Neeson's doing like, I'm Liam Neeson's, I'm an old man who snaps people up.
Yeah.
But like younger Liam Neeson's, he's a good looking dude, man.
He wasn't that much younger at this, does he?
I mean, compared to Taken, maybe it's like 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big time in Hollywood. 5-6 years. But you see Liam Neeson, he's got the slick back hair, he's got the blue eyes, he's got the Liam Neeson's voice.
I like that one because Mans is, he's just trying to help his son.
He realizes what situation they're in and he needs to just bring positivity.
And he can't, yeah.
I mean, leading up to Christmas time as well. That's heartbreaking that these things would happen.
That's heartbreaking. Yeah, dude, that is a bit rough, when he's saying like, hey, we'll be sending her off in this song, like this is how she does it. and then they're just carrying the coffin. And that's sad.
Yeah. Was Joffrey carrying the coffin as well?
No. Man's too short. Man's way too short.
I mean, like, you could put him in a stool, but someone has to move the
Someone
stool
has
as
to move the stool.
he's going.
That's right.
I mean, that's heartbreaking.
That is heartbreaking.
That's heartbreaking. But in regards to like wholesomeness, like that's a nice story.
Yeah, I didn't like it at the end because, like, that's a whole other thing.
Because it's illegal what he does. He like runs through like security.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of funny, but also that other girl that I don't know what her name is, Jennifer or like
The one that's singing?
Joffrina or something, whatever. Yeah, the one that's doing singing. Like it's obviously not her voice, someone else's voice.
I mean, and you get cancelled for that. You put someone that's deep fake.
You're cancelled. That's deep fake. But like that's almost like sexualizing a child at that point. I think.
Right, singing "All I Want for Christmas Is You."
No, the way it's being sung.
I mean, I don't know where you're grabbing it.
Nah, that's
the straw hut that
dude,
Mr. Darcy was living in. You've grabbed some.
Nah, because she rocks up and then like all the dirtbags in the audience are like, oh wow.
I think they said, "Oh wow," because of like singing.
Nah, I don't like it. I think I've just got like lots of issues with this movie, so like things are just coming out of the woodwork.
You're gonna go to your like eventually if you have kids, you're gonna go to their Christmas concert. You're gonna be like, which paedophile set this up?
And they're just doing carols.
Like, Chris, she's singing Jingle Bells, Chris.
But it's the way.
You're like, Saint Nick, you damn pedo. That's what you're going to be saying.
I mean, I might do that.
Because like Saint Nick, that's what's his name, right? That's Father Christmas. Is he Saint Nick?
Yeah, Saint Nicholas.
Dude, in Greek culture, he's like Saint Bill,
Saint Bill.
Yeah. So like there's a couple, this makes sense. There's like 6-7 heads doing Christmas things. So they get different continents. They go do their own thing.
That's right, because realistically, you can't do a whole continent in one night.
Nah. But you have 6-7 heads. Like you do that.
You have 6-7 heads. That's one per continent.
So, okay. So you that's where you draw the line at, singing.
That's
Like,
right.
the song itself is what I thought you meant, but you're just saying like the fact that she's singing is like sexualized content.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I mean, you don't have to explain why. It's a subjective word.
That's exactly right.
It's a subjective word.
Tryst.
It's tryst, man. Trust the process.
Trust the process. All right, so
you want to give that a 5 out of 10 for Dirtbag?
Nah, probably like because there's no dirtbag things really. The best part of that was the signs on the
yeah.
like the best ones, like a Ringo Starr or something.
Like Ringo is my god.
Like Ringo is my god. Yeah. And the best one is oh, come down for dinner. I'm not hungry. I said I'm not hungry. We would have said in the door. I said I'm not hungry. I mean that's quality content.
That's quality content because like someone had to set that up.
Yeah.
Without you noticing that it would happen.
That's exactly right.
Who would be next in terms of?
I think Hugh Grant.
I'm telling you, it's hard now getting into these last couple.
Hugh Grant, he wasn't doing dirtbag things.
No, and
in terms of the couples, he wasn't doing dirtbag things.
And we'll get into why he wasn't doing dirtbag things because as a professional, he realized that dirtbag things could have happened.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And he wanted to step away from that.
Yeah.
So Hugh Grant in this movie,
he's the prime minister.
He's the
prime minister.
He's prime, man. Like he's new into the game as well.
He's new in the game.
He's like Boris Johnson, except if he wasn't like just looking like a maniac, Because he's like doing social, like he's trying to be like he's got the popular vote. You can tell
he's got the popular vote. That's right.
Because like you see Hugh Grant come up. I mean, I know he had controversies in his life, but you see Hugh Grant come up and he's doing prime minister things. You're going to be like, I'm voting for that guy.
I mean, my mum will vote for it. My mum will become a British citizen just to vote for him.
I mean, your mum has bought that many OK magazines or whatever they're called. Hello magazines that she is a British citizen.
That's right. At one of them, you go over like 600 OK Hello magazines. They just put a passport in there with it.
Just your name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just insert photo here. Done.
So Hugh Grant's, he's doing prime minister things. It's got one of the more iconic scenes of this movie, which is where Hugh Grant is doing that dance.
Oh, that is top tier, man.
I saw an interview recently.
Yeah.
Because I watched the Today Show in the morning, like while I'm getting my stuff ready.
You watched it today.
Yeah, I watched it today. And apparently Hugh Grant hated filming that scene. And this is what I think about this, right? You're getting paid more than I'm getting paid in like 6 years of work, right? Like I'm out here grinding 9 to 5. You're getting paid more in however long you've been doing filming for for my whole 6 years. You're trying to avoid doing like some dancing scenes because it's uncomfortable. It makes you feel self-conscious that you're doing dancing things. At that point I wanted to like grab Hugh Grant and be like, hey bro, just jump in that coal mine over there. Start digging. Because like you just made more in 5 minutes than this man makes in his entire career.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, at the same time, man's allowed to have experience. Like he doesn't have to like everything of his job.
He doesn't have to like everything of his job, but if like dancing is one of the things you don't like if it was like, I hated it because they made me go nude. Like that's fair enough because like you don't want to go nude.
Yeah, but see, if I was an actor and they said to do dancing, I'd say that I don't want to do that. And that's just my experience.
I mean, if that's your experience and this is a subjective world, I appreciate that.
That's right. So he can say what he wants.
So Hugh Grant starts to fall in love with his secretary, and not the
I
secretary.
think she was
of
the
state.
catering manager.
She was just the catering manager.
I think so. She wasn't the secretary.
I thought they just said catering manager because like he brought her cookies at one point.
No, I think she was the catering manager. Well, I don't know. They introduced her role.
Yeah.
This was the head of housekeeping. Like, I've got an uncle called your same name, Rupert. I hated him. Like, you look all right though.
I mean, Rupert. I don't know what that part was, but I remember
when he first rocks up to the thing and it's like, hey, I'm going to introduce you to your house staff.
Oh.
Hey, this is Rupert.
Yeah.
I had an uncle called Rupert. I didn't like him
because he's doing.
But you look all right.
He's doing Hugh Laurie things where he's bumbling, but he's also like he's cute when he's doing it, and
he's cute when he's going. He's like throwing his cane everywhere. He's cute.
Here's what I want to know. Can you? She didn't get fired, but she got redistributed.
Yeah.
Natalie, who Hugh Laurie's is falling in love with.
Yeah.
She got redistributed to a different role. That can change a person's life. They get redistributed to a different role. What would you think if you're the Prime Minister of England, right? You have someone in the role that you fancy, and you say, "I'm gonna send them to a different role, so then I can like legally fancy them."
Yeah. I don't think he did that.
I'm pretty sure that's what he did.
I don't think he did that.
He redistributed her so he wouldn't be like doing like this is like
Yeah. I think we can call up the director right now. Like I got on speed dial, but I think what happened was Mans goes, okay, this is getting too close.
Right.
Like I'm getting feelings for this lady. I can't have her here because, that's going to cause issues.
Yeah.
Political, geopolitical, whatever. Like, then he redistributes her and then he gets the card from her, the Christmas card.
Right.
And then he realizes she feels the same way about him.
I see. I didn't put that part together.
That's what I think. I mean, that's what people who really appreciate cinema can see. I had Scorsese next to me.
Yeah.
I said to my partner, I'm sorry, like you got to get off the couch. Scorsese is sitting here.
Like he intended you to get off the couch and go somewhere else.
He intended you to get off the couch.
And like at the end of this movie, Scorsese looked at you and he said, "Hey, the Hugh Laurie's part, that's Trist. That's just Trist in a nutshell."
Yeah, that's just Trist.
Okay, I find that's fine. Yeah. I love it when he goes house to house and he's like, "I'm just doing like door knocks."
Bro, that's hilarious. And when he's singing the carols to the kids, and dude in the back has got like the voice of an angel.
Yeah, man. There's little bits in this movie where you're like, British people sometimes do humor the best.
Yeah,
because it can be as outlandish as it is. Because one thing about British humor is that they'll throw some non-PC stuff in there in the mix of like something charming. And you'll be like, that's British things, Like, how are you not going to be doing that when like your weather's always cloudy and like you're eating fish and chips every day? You got to throw some non-PC stuff in there.
I mean, you shouldn't, but you do.
When he meets Natalie's family, was the dad Juice Bigelow's dad from the first Juice Bigelow movie?
I do not know. I don't remember that, but that's funny.
Like the man that works on the toilet, he like puts his hands in the cake.
It absolutely could be.
When I saw him, I was like, Big Deucey in Amsterdam. Yeah, I mean that's if you're talking about non-PC movies, if we went back and watched that,
oh bro, we can't. I'm never watching that again.
Just leave it where it was.
Just leave it where it was. Just take the nostalgia for the hilarity that I enjoyed from it and the non-PC-ness and the stuff that I'm definitely not going to enjoy again. I'm never thinking about that.
But that's a 3 out of 10 in dirtbagness. This part of the story.
Yeah, the one thing that I think was probably the worst part of this, one of the worst parts of this movie was like they were telling like this lady she's plumpy.
Yeah, I didn't really get that either as being like
but
given that she looked like everyone else in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't just once. There were multiple heads saying it.
Yeah.
There was that lady who was the secretary.
Uh-huh.
And then her dad said it as well at the end. Like Big Juicy in Amsterdam's dad said it.
So yeah, it was the first with the boyfriend who dumped her because she had thick thighs.
Yeah.
Second with the secretary, and then third with Big Deucey in Amsterdam's dad.
Which I mean, that's big issues there.
I mean, that's big issues, right?
That's big issues.
Because there's if we're talking about body image, that's a Patreon After Dark episode. Because like you can get into that.
You can get into that. That's right.
But yeah,
we won't get into that here. But I really didn't like that.
No, and it didn't add anything. Like it didn't even add something that was funny. Like even
No,
as a man,
that's right.
even as a man, if I took myself out of it and I said, let's just look at this without like thinking about what's traumatic about it, I would look at that and I'd be like, bro, that just ain't even funny.
That's exactly. It's not even funny, and it's just bad for everyone involved.
Yeah. So we give that a 4.5 out of 10 for Dirtbag.
A Dirtbag for just like overall enjoyability. That's probably like a 2 because of all that stuff.
As in the movie, the Hugh Laurie's bit.
The Hugh Laurie bit.
Yeah, but you
I did enjoy a lot of it, but that just brought it down for me.
Yeah.
Because I just had that in the back of my mind. The most hilarious part was when they pick her up and her family and they got to go to the school thing.
Yeah.
Number one, the mum's like, no, we're going to be late. Like, can I just have that? Yeah, but we're going to be late. Because that's just mum things.
Like you're bringing the octopus in the car.
That was the funniest bit.
Yeah.
Not even just the octopus in the car, but when the kid had to get out and he kind of just was just rocking from side to side and then Hugh Laurie just pushed him out of it.
Because that kid would have worked to get into that suit. And then just from there, he's running on instinct.
He's running on instinct.
Because he can't see left or right. He can only see
going
straight.
like, he's looking like I got 8 arms, but I only got 2.
Nah, look, after I saw that bit, I'm like, I'm excited for if I ever have kids to just be doing like, I got to dress you up as an octopus and like take you to this thing.
I mean, the fact that they had lobsters and an octopus in the nativity play. I mean, that's
because it was like a amalgamation of different schools, so they all have different approaches to things.
Yeah, but also they didn't have enough roles for everyone.
No, so they're like, you just got to be sea creatures.
They should be like, well, someone ate some seafood there, so that's you. I took the frankincense, I took the myrrh, I took the octopus.
And I mean, dude, you take some like,
because the 3 wise men, they come up with like that fancy stuff, but they also got to bring a plate.
You take some pickled octopus.
Pickled octopus.
To the nativity
like,
setting?
Heads like you guys will do pickled octopus properly.
Man.
And octopus on the BBQ.
Oh, dude. I mean, octopus is just like underrated.
Octopus is underrated.
You know,
but it's also expense.
It's expense, but people look at it and they think like, I can't eat that because it's octopus.
Or it's tentacles.
It is tentacles.
Because heads like us will eat it. Other heads will look at it and go, I'm not eating that. And other people will look at it and go, I'm doing things with that, but I'm not saying it on this podcast. You know what I mean? That's the 3 camps.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, you'll find them in like the subreddits of Reddit.
You'll find them in the subreddits.
Now this is where we get into the depths. This is really the depths of like dirtbaggery.
This is all. I mean, these are all like 8s and above at least.
Oh well, I mean, the mans that are like doing like the naked shooting, like that's just the role that they happen to find themselves in.
Yeah, that's not really. That's just another one where.
I mean, that's just really brought into it as being like
a bit of comedy.
Yeah, just in the midst of, and
but it's also a one where like, hey, like there's naked females in this movie. Hey, like David, come with me.
Like Hobbit like found another hole.
I mean, but Martin Freeman, hilarious because they're both so awkward, and Martin Freeman is there, and like they're doing the activities, and man's just like rocking his head everywhere, which I think is hilarious.
It was funny.
It was funny
because it's such a change of pace from everything else.
It is, and Martin Freeman was just like the most awkward character, and that was funny. That was low on the Dirtbag.
Yeah. Also, I think another one that was low on the Dirtbag was the man that sings, I feel it in my fingers, I feel it in my toes.
Oh yes, I actually think that was one of my favorite ones because I mean that's man's obviously gone through stuff.
I mean, Mans is going through like bags.
He's going through stuff. That's right.
He's going through bags of stuff.
But the hilarious things, like and then he was just going, well, I mean, I'm old. What have I got to lose at this point? And man's just on the radio and just 100% honest.
Yeah.
And then he's drawing on this boy band like we got small pricks. And that's hilarious. Like we got to cut to a commercial break.
The best thing about him, like speaking about like pickled octopus, he was Davy Jones in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Was he?
So we got Pirates of the Caribbean alum in this. He
was Davy Jones.
But yeah,
that's right.
I don't know if his name is Reese Ifans or like, Reese Ephans, but he's someone that does Davy Jones things.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that was good. And, at the end, it was just wholesome, like him and his manager. They just, they love each other. That's the relationship you've got.
In amongst a world where like he can get invited to Elton John's party, he realizes that his best friend is the guy that's just helped him through. Man, Reese Ifans is a different guy that looks exactly the same. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much right now for certain. Let me find out who this guy is.
Trist, Reese Ifans looks like this man's from this movie.
Love Accidentally, I accidentally clicked on.
Love Accidentally.
What's this guy's name? Bill Nye.
Well, Bill Nye, the science guy.
That's Bill Nye, the science guy. No, it's a different guy, but it's very close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that bit just because man's realized that, as you said, he's old. He's just going to say things how it is. And he talks about how bad his record is.
Yeah.
And like they just literally changed one word.
That's hilarious. And then he gets butt naked on Christmas Day, on Christmas Eve, singing this record. And
dude, you know, if you want to be a rock star and you want to do those things, like sell out whenever you can and just make that bread and then just go home to your mates and celebrate.
Let's celebrate.
That's fun. I think that he himself as a character could have got his own movie. Like if you go through his life, that would be a fun movie.
Yeah, that was an interesting part. I thought that was on the Dirtbag meet. It was low, I think.
Well, everything was against himself, really.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, you see someone else's life crumbling for their own reasons, you're like, bro, that's fantastic because it's not affecting anyone else, you know?
All right, now onto the proper dirtbags.
Now it's proper dirtbags because we've been going for a while, but
we've got 31 minutes.
That's fine. That's fine. It's hard to think.
So I think Andrew Lincoln's going to be the...
I'm leaving him last.
Oh, that's the most dirtbag.
I've got reasons to leave him last.
Okay. All right. Well, you got reasons.
I've got reasons to leave him last.
Okay.
But that's not to say that Sliver Snape isn't a snake in the grass.
Dude,
you know?
He's a slither of Snape in the grass,
yeah,
man. Dude.
Like
he wanted to slither in the wrong places.
Oh man, you know. Here's the thing, right? You're in a committed relationship with kids, okay? I can understand that, you know, as you've been together for a while, you might drift apart in certain areas. Certain things might not happen the way that they used to because like you got two kids running around the house. But how are you going to sit there in your right mind and just be like, you know what? Instead of going home tonight, I'm going to go to this and do infidelity and whatnot. And I know there's other reasons. Don't get into the reasons, but I'm saying you stop and you think.
There wasn't any implication of actual infidelity.
I mean, but you know there's infidelity going on.
But there was the implied, obviously he got the jewelry for...
Got the jewelry for his secretary.
For his secretary, the Secretary of State. And I mean, like the lady warned him. Like his wife said, like, hey, you know, be careful.
Be careful of that lady.
Be careful.
Because I know what's going on.
That's right. And she knew and...
I mean, you listen to Lorraine Sharpley, whatever that lady was listening to, like, you know those things. You can pick them out a mile away.
I think that was pretty heartbreaking when she's there with the kids and she gets the
present that looks like the
present
box.
And then she goes, oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because imagine you going to work, and I know that they probably break up shortly after that, but imagine you going to work that week, you visit your husband at work and you see that necklace around that lady's neck.
Jeez.
Like, you might grab that thing.
Yeah.
You know? And you start fighting in that.
But also on her part, like that's dirtbag things on the secretary's part.
Oh, absolutely. You know, adultery works two ways. Like it ain't a one-way street.
Depends. If you don't tell anyone, like if you're just like, nah, I'm single, bro.
Oh yeah.
These rings, they don't mean nothing.
Dude, I just got rings because I got money. I
got rings. I got so much jewelry.
Dude, I got so much jewelry. Like I could buy a house with my jewelry. You know. Here's the issue that I have as well. When mans gets caught out, and when I do this means like when I do
that's right. This means business.
When I do the finger to the thumb, the okay, like you can't walk into Mordor, like
because it's not okay.
It's not okay. When I do that, you know that this is going to be the best point you've ever heard. Like you're gonna cancel all your other podcast subscriptions. You're gonna come to you know. When mans gets caught out for it, he says, "Oh, I'm a fool. I'm a fool. Now that I've been caught out, I'm a fool." You know, people like that have no backbone.
Yeah.
At that point, you just double down and you just start just hooking up with people.
Jesus Christ, man.
Nah, he's a dirtbag because it doesn't matter if there's kids involved, but there is kids involved in that situation.
There's kids involved.
You're breaking 3 hearts and 3 very young two young hearts as well.
It's not. I mean, it's never okay, but that's.
But that scene when she opens up, that's one of the greatest, but also most heartbreaking scenes in cinema.
Yeah. Because
it could have gone the other way as well. They probably even had it in the script saying maybe he does choose to give the gift to her, and that's his thing of being like, nah, I ain't going with this Secretary of State.
That's right.
Because like the state of my marriage is more important.
The state of my marriage. But no, he's a fool.
He's a fool.
And he's a fool. The one hilarious part was when Rowan Atkinson, they got Rowan Atkinson's, man's hilarious. He's putting in he's packaging, gift wrapping the thing, and he puts the bow on it, and then he puts it in a bag, and then he like scoops up all this stuff. Man's has got like a full Caesar salad in there.
And it's just like every step in this I'm gonna do it,
Yeah.
prontito or whatever he says.
Prontito. Oh, and
I mean, Ron Atkinson is a great sight. I mean, I'm a big fan of Mr. Bean, but you put Ron Atkinson in something that's not Mr. Bean, I'll enjoy it.
Because man's wanted a gift wrap. Like, he's just gift wrapping it for him.
He went
also, he walked out without paying.
He didn't take it.
He took it.
He didn't take it.
Didn't he?
No, he just said, see you later, like Ron Atkinson.
Oh, okay. I thought he put it in his jacket pocket, but maybe he went back.
Yeah, I think he went back.
He went back, man.
Because that gift box didn't have like flowers and stuff.
No, that's right. That's why I thought he just took the... Yeah, no, you might be right.
Um,
we also didn't talk about...
Mans That Goes to America?
Truman... Screw that guy. Truman's wife and Marky Mark.
Yeah, Truman's wife and Marky Mark.
That wasn't any dirtbag stuff.
No, it's just like... It's a opportunity to remember that sometimes, challenges with your family will overtake your ability to have a love life.
That's right. I mean, that's just difficulties.
Yeah. And I mean, there's sadness there.
That's sadness. But Marky Mark, bro, like, dude, looks silky smooth,
dude,
man.
Like, you see that guy.
With the glasses as well. You know, when I was thinking, because I'm a man with glasses, like,
Yeah.
you look at me, you look at my glasses, you say, that man has glasses. I was thinking, maybe I should get them small rectangular ones.
Dude, I mean, you look good with them small
But I
rectangular
want
ones.
low power mode.
Because you're on a Marky Mark sort of level, like that guy. Like, you have a sort of similar ethnicity and look. You all right over there?
Yeah, we've got low power mode, but that's all right. We'll be all
What,
right.
20%?
20%.
That's fine.
That's fine, bro. That's fine. I just put on low power mode. We're all good.
That's fine. Oh my God, it stopped. So you could pull that off. You just
I
need to
don't think I could
If
pull
you
that
get in
off.
the sun for like just a little bit long, because you just do the 15 minutes and that's it, and that's good for you.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
I mean, we'll spray you down. We'll just get you for that fake stuff. That's good for you.
Yeah, but I'm not silky smooth like that man's.
Yeah,
I'm not shaving my beard. There's no
also,
way.
you don't have the hair.
I don't
hair
have the
is-
hair.
Yeah.
I grow my hair. I just have an afro, and that's not silky smooth.
But I mean, look at that hairline though, bro.
But did you also see like man's chest?
Yeah, dude was like he's not only going to work and staying till late. Like he's at the gym.
He's at the gym. He's going to the beauty parlor.
Yeah, he's doing just broccoli and boiled chicken.
Jeez, man.
Yeah. I mean, he cares for his body.
He cares for his body.
But
That's not dirtbag things.
No, I don't think that's dirtbag things. I just think that's just office romance.
That's just office romance.
And sometimes it goes wrong, sometimes it goes right.
And sometimes it's difficult to start.
Yeah, man. I mean, for us, like we shouldn't be doing office romances because like you get thrown in the pen for that. You don't want to do office romances. The reality of it, you don't want to be doing.
That's
that.
right. No, in the reality. So that one's no dirtbag stuff.
No dirtbag stuff. The man's with like who goes to America, like it's neither here nor there. He just does that.
That's the worst.
Is this a like? There's
What's the poipus? Is what you're asking?
No, but like
Because dude is actively harassing women at the start.
he is, isn't he?
He's actively harassing women.
I didn't really take too much notice of him like at the when he's like doing function things. I'm going to function. I'm harassing people things.
He's doing function things. He's harassing people. He's also harassing people in the office.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not okay. And then man just goes to America. And it's just, that's the worst. Get that out of there.
I mean, he probably at the time he was thinking this is a movie,
That's right. He was thinking this is a movie.
and we thought the same thing because like, we're watching Love Actually.
That's right. But Scorsese looked at me and he said, "This ain't a movie."
No, this ain't a movie. Like you need at least like 3
So
gangsters
screw
in this.
Colin. That's like a 10 out of 10 on a dirtbag.
I mean, he didn't like if he didn't do the stuff at the start, you'd just think like he's just going to America. He's using his British accent.
That's right. But that's
He did
also
nothing wrong over
right,
there.
That's also just like playing into the male fantasy, and I don't like that.
That's true.
Or
And like if we're talking
into certain male fantasies that just not healthy,
because some male fantasies, you go into a bar in Milwaukee, you don't see Giannis, you just see
Bro, if you saw Giannis there, that would have been that's a 10 out of 10 movie for me.
like a teenage version of Giannis, and he was like, "You're going to be the GOAT one day."
Yeah, to be the guy one day.
And then the final one, we're going to get into Andrew Lincoln's very own.
Okay, tell me why because I don't think this is as bad as you probably think it is.
Yeah.
But I haven't really thought about it that too much.
Well, one of my reasons I will say is not a issue with the movie as such, but it's just an issue with my understanding of the movie at the time. Okay, Keira Knightley's very own is married to Chiwetel Ejiofor,
what a name.
who is best friends with Rick Grimes.
Yeah.
Like, stop thinking with your dick, Rick. Like he's best friends with him, right? And he's doing wedding video things. The reality is he loves Keira Knightley's character, and he doesn't want to tell.
He
her
saw the
or
first
his friend.
Pirates of the Caribbean. He was like, "That's it for me."
Like
I'm in love.
he saw Bill Nighy, the science guy, and he saw Keira Knightley, and he said, "I'm in love."
Still, Bill Nighy and Keira Knightley.
Here's the issue with the Keira Knightley thing, is that, I mean, Slick Rick, with a 10-inch, like we will get into that, but so she is 18 at the time of filming this movie.
Oh, okay.
So she's a young person.
Jesus.
And like, I know that Keira Knightley is, she's in this movie, she's getting married. You assume that she's a mature lady. But she's 18. She's 18. And I understand why they put her in there because like she's a good British actor. She was destined to do big things, which she did. I'm talking about Pirates of the Caribbean's very own and other movies like Bend It Like Beckham. If you're talking about British movies, Love Actually and Bend It Like Beckham, that's British.
Yeah.
But she's 18 and Slick Rick, right? He is, not only is he doing infidelity things like wanting to take his friend's partner away, which I mean, look.
Well, he's not wanting to take.
Your love, it knows no bounds. So you might accidentally
right.
fall in love with someone that you're not meant to.
Like Mans was talking about when she was in the house watching the video, he was like, this is like preservation. This is, instead of when talking about he doesn't want to like, be friendly to this lady.
Here's what I want you to do, right? Take that scene, put like a Psycho-esque theme song behind it, like just some eerie music behind it.
Yeah.
That's Jeffrey Dahmer. He's going to eat her skin. He is filming Keira Knightley's at her own wedding, but strictly filming Keira Knightley's.
Yeah, no,
and he's edited the video so it's all the same, and he's got the video in his cupboard.
Yeah, but he did say it needs a bit more editing,
Yeah, it needs a bit more editing because, like, if people saw this, they'd think I'm crazy. Because I'm not crazy. I promise I'm not crazy.
Yeah,
do you want tea? I haven't put anything in there, but do you want it? Like, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, no, look, I'm seeing your perspective now.
Right.
And it's wrong.
It is wrong. And then you get caught out for being wrong, right?
Yeah.
By Keira Knightley's very own. And then you go to her house when Chiwetel Ejiofor is upstairs, unknowingly upstairs, thinking it's Carola's downstairs. And you're doing like, here's my cards. Like,
here's
we'll
my cards. Like, here's a trap card. I'll send you to the Shadow Realm right now. Right here, right now.
I mean, you take a tea from Rick Grimes, like you might get sent to the Shadow Realm after you see that video.
Jeez.
Not only is he doing that, but he's an artiste, right? He's doing artist things. Artist people are crazy, bro. You don't think they're doing art things because they're normal.
Bro, you can't. I don't think you can say
Vincent
that.
Van Gogh cut his ear off. Like Rick Grimes is going to cut her
but
ears off.
he had other issues.
You don't think Rick got issues? Like, stop thinking with your Frank.
Stop thinking with the Frank, think with the beans, bro.
If he thought with the beans, it'd been a different story.
It'd be a different story.
When he comes through with the cards like a simp, bro, that's like you found someone on Reddit who found an e-girl and DMs her saying like, bro, text me. Here's my number, text me.
Okay, so that's what, a 10 out of 10 on the Dirtbag scale?
Well, what it is
also,
just like
Keira Knightley goes and kisses him.
I mean,
man's going to be like, those Carolers too. Jesus Christ. It's Slick Rick. He ain't even got any chains on.
dude, an RIP Slick Rick and like, Rick Grimes, I don't know what you're doing, but like you're doing things out there.
I mean, the first 3 seasons were top tier.
Should we just talk about like how the first season of The Walking Dead is one of the best seasons in
Bro,
TV history?
Still that thing, that shot where he's riding into the city on a horse.
And all the cars are backed up to go this way.
I'm getting like shivers just thinking about that. That first season, oh, jeez.
And we're big fans of the second season, which is
The second season.
which is not regarded highly by other people. But that's why I didn't really like Slick Rick. The one thing I do like about Slick Rick is like we could do a Photoshop for this thing, like do a meme where it's he's holding the cards and he says like, "Welcome to another episode."
That's right. Like we can do that. We just think about the content that we can do. Anyway, is that all we want to say?
I mean, that's all we're going to say.
This movie is a movie that I continuously regret watching the more times I watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that it's fine. In regards to like Christmas things, though, I think that there's a lot of Christmas in this because it does show that Christmas movies don't always have to be like, birds and whistles and
No, that's right. I just think that like at this point we need a better one.
I mean, we should do like Not Actually Love, and it's just adultery at all times.
All right, is that it?
Hey, look, that was Love Actually, and this is the back catalogue.
Talk soon.